So, tiny pair of very sharp scissors, crochet hook. Although I have gotten a lot of the little stitch saver, I've got like half a dozen of them because every swap that I'm in I get one, which is great, but I don't use them very much because I find it too awkward to use a tiny little piece of one rather than just use a full crochet hook. So I use a plain old crochet hook chibbies. I still have all three if anybody's wondering. So I use these a lot. Actually, I use these for every project, so I have kept track of them. I got this, I think I got this in a Perfect Day yarn shipment. I'm pretty sure I did. Anyway, it's a little gauge thing, so you can use this to measure your gauge. If you're a cheater like me and you only knit like this much of a swatch to see if you're about right, you can use this little ruler to measure your gauge. And then I've got a little needle gauge because I use a lot of, I keep a bunch of random loose needles in my notions bag. See? So whenever I need to know what size the needle is, I keep this in the bag. So, and then highlighter tape, also a Perfect Day Yarns club shipment gift notion thing. So instead of pattern tamers, which I used to use, here I'll get one, and these go around the piece of paper, and then you have to move it with every row. It got kind of awkward, and it is awkward if you're like working out of a book, or it's just awkward for me. And while it was great when it came out, highlighter tape rules and is way better. And you can get a roll of it for like $5 or something. I don't have the big roll. I've got one, but I don't know where it is. So anyway, it's just colored. There's green, yellow, red, blue. I've seen different colors. And then you just tear off a piece and then you just stick it onto your chart, and then you move it as you need it to switch rows or whatever. So love highlighter tape, and I will sing its praises so that they continue to make it, because it is one of my very favorite notions. Now that I've made a mess on my table and can't tell where anything is. Another question was, Sarah from Perfect Day Yarns wants to know what I'm going to knit with that skein. I can't remember what the pattern's called, but oh, my tea's getting cold. But I'll figure it out and make it. And then Cinnabars. She had a lot of questions, so I'm going to kind of whiz through most of them. First one was, do I knit for other people? Yes. Certain people that I like a lot, I will knit for. The first year I started knitting, I knit a lot of stuff. Mittens, hats, scarves, all kinds of stuff. Socks for my son's grandmother, my ex-husband's mother, and her daughter, and the little girls, Kobe's sisters, and never got a thank you. And that kind of hurt my feelings. So my list has gotten much smaller of who I knit for. So typically for Christmas knitting, and birthday knitting is rare. I'll knit for Laura on her birthday sometimes, but that's pretty much it, really. So for Christmas knitting, I will not knit for my fiance, because the only thing, and these are his words, the only thing that I could knit him that he would wear would be a black sweater for Christmas that he would only wear on Christmas. There is no reason in hell for me to knit that. I've offered to knit him socks. He says no, it would be a lot easier and cheaper to get them at the store, and he will just wear them through, so fine with me. That's one less person I have to knit for. I will knit for my son if there's something that he wants, a toy, or I've knit him scarves, and Laura has knit him hats and mittens and things like that, so I will knit for him occasionally. Michael's stepmother, I've knit her socks, a sweater, and I want to knit her a shawl this year for Christmas, I think. I've knit her 2 pairs of socks, actually. So I will knit for her. His dad, I knit a hat for. But as far as people in my life, very few. Friends, sometimes I will knit for. It just depends on the occasion, or if I'm reciprocating something, of course I will knit. I will knit for swap partners most of the time, unless it's a non-knitting swap, but I don't do a lot of swaps anymore because I've gotten burned on a couple, so. Yes, I do knit for other people. The list is small. What sort of things do I tend to knit? Oh, wait. Do I think that my project monogamy affects gift knitting? Like, if I'm only knitting one thing, am I less likely to knit things for other people? Absolutely. Now, when Christmas time or Christmas knitting comes around, which I try to start that around October, in Christmas knitting, I do knit on more than one thing at a time. Because it'll depend. If I'm knitting cabled socks, then I'm not going to take those with me to knit night. I'll bring, a shawl or a hat or something to knit on for that. But absolutely it does. And when it comes to pretty much any time after, I don't know, Halloween, nothing I knit is going to be for me. And that makes me grumpy. So who knows what the video cast will be like at that point. What sort of things do I tend to knit most, like socks, sweaters, shawls, that sort of thing? So I knit socks mostly, although that has kind of changed this year. I've knit a lot of, well, not a lot of, I've knit more shawls this year. I've knit the Seaside, which is up there. I've knit the convertible, well, I've knit the other half of the convertible, which is also a shawl. I've knit the shipwreck. I crocheted the Walden. Some other stuff. I've knit some socks because those are good busy work projects. I knit a toy. I have knit sweaters before. Disclaimer, have never knit a sweater that fit me great. And part of that is because I don't want to admit to my measurements, although really that's silly because hello, I'm on a video cast now and you guys all can tell my general proportions, so that's not a secret. But I've yet to knit a top of any kind that fits me. Even I did a Central Park hoodie, which fits okay except the sleeves are way too tight. So, but I'm not ripping it out. I'll just give it to somebody. Would I knit more sweaters if I lived somewhere colder? Yeah, probably. Mississippi does get cold, but not for long. And it doesn't get, like, in the summer it gets hot and it gets so awful humid hot. In the winter it gets cold, but it doesn't get like bone cold, like Chicago or the upper New York or something like that, I guess, because I've never been to upper New York, northern New York or anything. I probably would if I lived somewhere that was not Mississippi. Who knows? Somebody should pay for me to move, and then we could find out. But, anyhow, she also asked, have I knit many dishcloths? Knit? No. I've knit probably half a dozen total in my entire life. And the same goes for scarves. I don't knit a lot of scarves because it gets too boring to do the same thing over and over. So, no, crocheting, I've actually crocheted probably more dishcloths than I've ever knit them. So, it just goes faster, and I'm an instant gratification kind of girl, so. That's pretty much all the questions except for the photography process, which I'll do on a different episode, and the spinning stuff, which I'll try to do tomorrow. Tomorrow, well, later today, is Worldwide Knit in Public Day. So I'm going to go out to our bookstore up in Memphis and meet Tracy, Cat Raggedy, whatever you want to call her. We're going to meet up there and have lunch and just chill and knit because Laura is out of town, so she can't come and hang with the cool people. So, but she'll be at TNNA, so I'm sad I'm missing all that because she's getting to hang out with all the cool people up there too. So, anyhow, to all of my friends that are at Estes, hello. And Lynn, congratulations on your hand-spun roving or hand-spun yarn win. She got first place in lace singles, I think, and then second place in Pygora. And at Estes, that is a huge deal. Although, I'm going to go and be honest, not surprised at all because Lynn is an amazing spinner. So, congratulations to her. And hello to my other friends at Estes and hello to everybody at TNNA. Hope you guys have had a great time. I know there's one more day tomorrow, I think. So, anyhow, I'll be back tomorrow with the spinning part of this episode. I hope you guys have a good night.